everybody, to Monday Night Hoops on BCSN. LaValle Gymnasium is a sea of maize and blue for a track showdown between the Notre Dame Eagles and the Whitmer Panthers. Hi again, everybody. This is Mason Lowry with you. John Hobbs alongside. Great to have you with us. Whitmer's goals, John, are still in front of them. They can still get a piece, technically, of the track championship, though they can't afford any slip-ups the rest of the way. And with a win in one of their last 3 league games, they can get to double-digit conference wins for the first time in 7 years.
Yeah, these young ladies have worked extremely hard all year long, and they've got, the prize sitting right in front of them. They can actually say they control their destiny.
And with a win, they'll be able to say that they have swept Notre Dame in this regular season, something that very few teams have been able to say in the last decade plus. Notre Dame in their home whites, Whitmer in the road blue uniforms. This live game is brought to you by Dave White Chevrolet. For the number one buy with the number one guy, the place to go is Alexis and Monroe. Dave White Chevrolet. And remember, you can see all the great deals at DaveWhiteChevy.com. And that's a turnover. Janiyah Anderson fell on the sideline. I get the feeling, John, that a lot of possessions in this game are going to look like that one. Both teams really going to lock up defensively.
Yeah, it's going to be a game tonight. First of all, Notre Dame, there's a tremendous amount of pride here at this school. Coach Travis, and they do not want to lose to anyone twice in a season, especially at home in their home floor. And Whitmer knows what this game means for them tonight. It could be the start of having the wins they need to get a share of the conference title.
An offensive rebound from Nicole Kennard on a missed three from Olivia Popoff. Starting lineups brought to you by Ballas Buick GMC on the Central Avenue Strip. Open 24/7 at BallasBuickGMC.com. That's another three from Popoff that won't go. She collects the long miss. Drives in a little long on the layup attempt. And grabbed by Janiyah Anderson. Whitmer with Sydney Bohr, Nicole Kennard, Jada Shout, their leading scorer and rebounder. Denny Lawrence pulling the strings. And Olivia Popoff. It's another early Notre Dame turnover, this time a double dribble by Braylon Dunn in the starting five, along with Amira Dupree, Janiyah Anderson, Nina Sims, and their leading scorer and rebounder Dakota Smith.
Dakota Smith is a tremendously talented young lady. She's definitely the leader of this team, and she's going to have a really good game tonight for Notre Dame to overcome Whitmer. She is very capable of having that type of game.
She plays so physically on both ends of the floor. Borer there had to pick up her dribble. Averages 9.5 points a game for the Panthers.
Yeah, Sydney Borer has really been playing. She's had a phenomenal second half of the season, and she's definitely added to the scoring prowess that they have with the shoot.
Well, if the tempo of the first 2 minutes, 15 seconds is anything to go by, this might be a race to 30 or 20 or 25.
Sir. Like you said, Mason, you've seen enough basketball to know it's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be a defensive night. One of the things that both of these teams lack a little bit is somebody that consistently hits that three-pointer.
Leon Kennard calls a timeout. This is a full timeout. We'll step away. 5:26 left in the first quarter. Still no score.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Now get $100 off Cooper tires instantly. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Undertrained, underpaid, no benefits, and always worrying about family. That's what it was like working as a non-union electrician. Then I joined the IBEW Local 8 and that all changed.
If you're an electrician, joining Local 8 will increase your wages and make more work opportunities available to you. We also ensure that you and your family will have exceptional benefits.
You'll also be able to plan a more than comfortable retirement.
Let your hard work earn you more. Call to see how you can join the winning team at IBEW Local 8.
Today, Midas fixes a lot more than you think. Tires, brakes, oil, and more. Now get $100 off Cooper tires instantly. Request your appointment today at Midas.com.
Might be the first time in 11 years of calling basketball games we've seen a full timeout before a point has been scored. Olivia Popoff trying to change that and can't. Tough offensive rebound in traffic. Putback goes for Jada Schaup. It's going to be so difficult for Notre Dame to keep her off the glass.
Yeah, she does a great job around. When she gets in that paint, she is really a problem.
Someone who's worked really hard to diversify her offensive game. She can step out and score every now and again. She'll bring the ball over the timeline, too. Blocking foul called on Sydney Borer. There's Travis Galloway, who loves this Notre Dame team. It's a great group of kids. Record isn't where anybody associated with the program would like it to be. 9-10 overall, 6-5 in the conference. But a group that plays incredibly hard. They have just been really inconsistent this year, putting the ball in the basket.
Yeah, when you look at the effort these young ladies make, I mean, they leave it on the floor every night. They give it everything they've got. No ifs, ands, and buts about it.
Whitmer not giving them a whole heck of a lot to work with. That was poked away from Nina Sims on the drive. Keys to the game presented by Ace Appliance. Having major appliance problems? Call Ace Appliance Service and Repair 7 days a week and say, hey Ace, we need it fixed right away. And I want to zero in on something that Travis Galloway told me before tip-off. He said, we need to play with pace and with rhythm. There's been very little rhythm generated in the first 4 minutes of this one as Dakota Smith forces the issue, gets it into the paint and scores. Whoever can get in rhythm and really dictate the pace, they're probably going to come away with a dub.
And the key to this Notre Dame team creating tempo as pace is going to be their defense. They're a super athletic group, and so it's going to be their defense that will create that for them tonight.
Janiyah Anderson bowling over Sydney Borer. It's been kind of a weird year for Notre Dame. Some surprising losses, but also some surprisingly close games. A loss to St. Ursula for the first time in a very long time, and they played them on the 19th, 44-39. They had to come from behind in the second half to beat them when they played in December. They've also played some really tough teams really close, like Kettering Alter, who's only got a couple of losses on the season. Only lost to them by 2 possessions a couple weeks back.
Yeah, played them very well, very well.
Braylon Dunn, the speedster, driving it off the turnover.
Way to use the left hand. I mean, she was extremely comfortable. Most time players have to cross over to their right, but she was very comfortable using her left hand.
Two quite young teams, too. Whitmer doesn't have a single senior in the program. And Notre Dame, roughly half the roster is underclassmen. So two teams building for the future. Interestingly, Whitmer, 9 wins in the track. That's terrific for a team that was picked in the middle of the pack in preseason, as Nina Sims put Sydney Borer on the free throw line. Interestingly, 9-2 in the league, 0-7 out of the league. They played a very difficult non-league schedule.
And that's just what Travis Galloway does. He for sure makes sure he picks a tough schedule, non-conference all the time, so that his teams are ready for conference play. He never shies away from tough competition.
You look at Whitmer, they've played Anthony Wayne, Medina Highlands, Springfield, Start, Bedford, Northview. Very, very tough local, mostly non-conference schedule.
And Coach Travis Galloway and Coach Leon Kennard, I mean, they know each other very well. They have coached against each other for a long time, so they both know what the other coach is going to do.
Dupree driving off another Whitmer turnover. That's really been the story of this first quarter so far. Both teams having a tough time holding onto the ball, and look on Coach Kennard's face says a lot. Fouls on Jada Schaup, her first.
This for sure was going to be an intensely defensive game tonight, and it's living up to it.
Yeah, knowing the mentality of these two coaches and the approach that these two programs take, it would have been disappointed if it was anything else. If you defend, you force turnovers, you're tough to play against, the rest will take care of itself. And oh, by the way, March is almost here, late February when the girls' tournament starts.
Yes.
What's a better thing to be that time of year than tough to beat?
Yes. Janiyah Anderson is definitely the best defensive player that Notre Dame has.
Missed the layup. Tough follow for Dupree. Knocked around. Anderson goes back up. Can't get it to go again. That's it over the back against Notre Dame. Foul is on Dakota Smith, somebody that cannot afford to get in first half foul trouble.
At all. And she's smart enough to play through it. Whitmer's overplaying Dakota. Notre Dame is overplaying Shoot and Bohr.
Kennard forces a tough shot that got into the body of her defender. That's Dupree. Nicole and Leon Kennard are cousins, incidentally. I asked Leon what their relation was before tip-off, if maybe Nicole was Leon's daughter, and Derek Lawson, one of his assistants, whom I've known for years, turned to us both and said, everybody asks you that.
Yeah, Coach Leon Kennard's daughter is the great Malika Kennard, who had a phenomenal career at Start High School. And then Malika went on to Ohio State and then finished up her master's degree at Xavier University.
Heck of a player. This could be a problem for Whitmer because that's 2 now on Jada Schaup.
And he also has a WNBA basketball player on his staff, and Kamisha Harrison, who is the second all-time leading scorer girls at Bowser High School, and only to be outscored by the great Jazz Davis, who was just on another level when it came to basketball. And then she went to Temple University, and then she played in the WNBA. And so the knowledge is there for Whitmer, this young team. In the next couple of years, it's just going to be something to see what they do with the coaching staff they have.
Katie Bissell gets one of the 2 free throws. Schaup making it look easy at the other end. Coach Kennard and company giving her license to stay on the floor despite the 2 early fouls.
What Notre Dame has to do is, with Shoot having 2 fouls, they have to drive and put the pressure on her to pick up that 3rd foul.
Anderson catch and shoot. Short. Schaup with the rebound. I feel like you'd have to put the Whitmer assistant coaching staff, in terms of playing ability, the ability to still play against any staff in the area.
Any staff.
Boys or girls. Anderson gliding in for the layup in transition, and that's something that Coach Galloway has really focused hard on. Let's see if we can score quickly, get up the floor, and put it in the basket. They have sometimes had a tough time creating good looks for themselves in the half court.
And right now what Notre Dame is doing is they're taking fresh players and they're just shadowing Sydney Bohr. I mean, Sydney Bohr, the second half of the season, I mean, she has been scoring like you wouldn't believe. And so they know how effective she can be tonight. And so they're just rotating fresh players. Their only responsibility is to guard Sydney Bohr. They just put another player on. And they're just hoping that by the 4th quarter, this will wear her down.
That's Tia Malley. Checked in to guard Bohr. Conditioning shouldn't be an issue with her. She's from the soccer team. Sydney Bohr, you can sense the frustration already building in her. Nina Sims will come back in for the Eagles. See if they can create one good look here as the opening quarter winds down.
I'm surprised Dakota Smith didn't take that shot. They've got to get Dakota involved in this offense.
Bissell was hit from behind by Denny Lawrence, sophomore guard. Another good all-around player for the Panthers, averaging 8 points and almost 6 rebounds a night. Smith, final seconds. Bissell, corner three. Yes! Katie Bissell at the buzzer.
I'm getting that feeling, Mason. One at the buzzer might be one at the end of the game for us tonight.
It feels like Friday all over again, doesn't it? Notre Dame up 2, end of 1.
What is success? Opportunity. Building a better future. Belonging to a supportive community. Life experiences that propel you forward. At Owens Community College, we offer more than 70 programs in career-focused fields and deliver quality higher education that is accessible to all. Your success starts here. Owens Community College.
Back with you at Notre Dame Academy. The Eagles up 10-8 on the Whitmer Panthers as we start the second quarter. Mason Lowry and John Hobbs. I kind of feel bumped and bruised myself having watched that first quarter. This is tough, intense, physical, just like we expected.
And for sure, this is the way this game is going to be tonight, because you have two coaches that have exactly put their style of play on their team, and their team wants to play for their coach.
O'Malley gets called for the foul. It's been really tough on Sydney Borer so far. And you rightly pointed this out. Notre Dame rotating a bunch of different players at her. Whomever's fresh, try and keep the point guard off balance. She does so much for this Whitmer team.
And that's what they want to do. Notre Dame, either we don't let Sydney catch the ball, or once she catches it, she can't have it back. And the player that is going in, Mason, knows that that's their only responsibility. Do not let Sydney Borer touch the ball.
Sims will launch from the top. Couldn't quite bank it in. Schaup in there with a tough rebound.
On the other hand, Dakota Smith, the same thing has happened where... What?
Inadvertent horn, I would assume. I wonder if there's an issue with the scorebook. I saw Travis Galloway come down to the end of his bench and sort of frustratedly send one of his assistant coaches over to the table. And they've sent both teams to the benches. Well, that's Katie Bissell going to the line for a free throw. I wonder if there's a Whitmer scorebook issue that has led to an administrative technical.
Yeah, being a coach all these years, Mason, when you see something like that, it was something with the book. Somebody wasn't in the book or something. Something happened wrong. And it's most of the time those get caught by the referees before the game starts. But with the way everybody went to the table, I would guess, not sure, I would guess it was something with the book.
See if I can grab an official at some point and figure out. And I didn't even need to get that sentence out of my mouth before John Hobbs has taken care of it. Wrong number in the book for someone, which gifted Notre Dame 1 point. And there's Bissell, who hit the technical free throw, one of the two, missing on the inside. You can certainly understand, watching this Whitmer team and how critical Jada Schaub is to it, why she would be allowed to stay in the game with 2 fouls. Haven Thomason off the bench, short on a 3. Hasn't exactly been a game for jump shooting, but it has been a game for that. Dakota Smith once again driving and scoring.
And finally getting Dakota in the scorebooks, getting her. Hopefully this will be the start of her starting to become active in this offense. She has got to touch the ball if Notre Dame is going to win tonight. She has to score.
Borer trying to shake loose. Everything is difficult for her right now. Notre Dame is playing a terrific defensive game against her. Smith, they'll work it around. No chance for Sims to get a shot up. Notre Dame, the bench, begging Tia Malley to shoot. She may have heard them, chose to ignore them. Smith again, way too much. Grabbed by Borer.
Yeah, got to use that backboard when you're that close. Got to use that backboard. And it's going to be hard to keep Sydney Borer from scoring, but what they're hoping is 4 quarters of this will wear Sydney down where she won't be as effective.
Here's something a little bit different, letting Denny Lawrence operate as primary ball handler. She missed, and then Thomas missed on the way back up. Absolutely stuffed by Amira Dupree. 5-point lead for Notre Dame. Bissell, the runner. Back iron, popped around. Smith collects in front of the Whitmer bench. That's great stuff from Dakota Smith with a little English on it, especially knowing that Jada Schaub really couldn't do much to stop her.
And this is what I'm saying. And Dakota just needed that one basket to start to get into a rhythm. And now we might see her start getting that score.
Thomas will launch again and hit one. Haven Thomas, the junior, with a big 3 for Whitmer, their first points of the quarter.
I mean, that was the shot for Haven to take. Exactly, right there.
They needed that in the worst way. Now Malley will shoot. Little long. And that's Dupree on the baseline. Now Schaub will come out. Nicole Kennard checks in. And Janiyah Anderson returns for Notre Dame. Because they weren't intense enough before. Janiyah Anderson going to come in and turn the dial up to 11.
Yes, she is. She is a defender. I mean, she just run right through that screen. She ran right through it. I'm so glad to see the refs calling this. I watched the game the other night, and we got to get the refs doing a great job here, have got to call that screen more, because so many kids aren't setting their feet when they're setting the screen makes, and they're running up, and you're going to get somebody's ACL torn like that. They're running up, knees out, not being set. So I'm glad to see the refs making that call early.
Is that maybe a sign in terms of how kids are setting those screens, that they're way sped up, that they're going too quickly? Because you want to play at pace, but you don't want to play fast, per se.
Yes, sir. And you just you still gotta take the time to set that screen up properly.
There's a 3 from the top.
And now you see why Notre Dame has so much emphasis on Sydney Borer, because that's what she's capable of doing.
So Borer's bucket answered by Dakota Smith.
Her third basket. I knew at some point Dakota was going to wake up.
Denny Lawrence on the drive. There was no help to come over and stop her from getting to the basket.
She made the right read on that play. There was a screen. And nobody, the defense did not switch on the screen. She understands to keep going to the basket. She is the niece of Coach Jim Blood, who coached for a number of years. She understands different reads in the game.
Anderson, yes.
The Bloods that played at Whitmer for a number of years. So she's seen plenty of basketball.
And they were good, too. Bryce and Reagan after the 30-second timeout.
Great timeout by Coach Travis right there. Let your team breathe. Let them celebrate the 3, but also get them ready for the next play.
It's still weird to think about Leon Kennard not being at start. He was there for a decade. He's been an assistant at Central Catholic under Erica Haney lately. I asked Leon, has it been odd after all the time you spent on the other side of Tremainsville? And he said as much as he enjoyed his time there, Whitmer, for him it's like a dream job with the facilities and the support from administration. He's had a wonderful time to this point.
Well, he could, for sure have no problem because the athletic director at Whitmer, they were former assistants. Coach Sean, they were former assistants under Coach Bob Brown. So there's a tremendous history between Leon Kennard and Coach Sean. And so it would be very comfortable for him to come to Whitmer with playing, with his old coach as the athletic director now.
Sean is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, Sean Fleming, yes he is. Sean Fleming is doing a great job.
10, by the way, is Nikki Diley, a freshman, not Haven Thomas, my apologies. Kennard fouled inside.
That looked like all ball. What did you think about that Cincinnati game last night? A whole play goes. The quarterback goes to the bench, and then they say, oh, no. It
was a great night to be a conspiracy theorist, that's for sure.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Off the missed free throw, Dakota Smith peels away from everyone. Kenai Anderson, by the way, a better three-point shooter than two-point shooter, which you don't see all that often. It's a nice find, Dupree, who is a matchup problem in the paint with her size and athleticism and skill set.
It's also, when you look up and see Coach Otter out here as a ref, who was a phenomenal coach at Clay.
He certainly was.
And his daughter was the truth. And so to see him out here, he's definitely been on both sides of the ball. And now his daughter is coaching at, I think, the University of Detroit Mercy.
Yes, she is controversially and shockingly let go from Loyola Chicago after last year. Has found a home at Detroit Mercy, and give her enough time and she'll have them punching for the top of the Horizon League. It's what she did at Loyola, took over a program that was absolutely decimated by issues that had nothing to do with her. Sydney Bohr knocks down the corner three to tie it at 20. But Kate Ochter has had a marvelous start to her coaching career, and long may it continue.
Yes. Notre Dame has got to get back to, you cannot let Sydney Bohr, who is I told you before the game, Mason, who their scorer was. You have got to go back to mirroring her, shadowing her, not letting her touch the ball. Because any space at all, she's going to score.
Bissell's three hops over the backboard. Jada Shelp comes back in. Whitmer might be angling for a 52.9-second final possession here. Make sure that at a minimum it's tied going into the break.
Well, the way Notre Dame is playing defense, they might have the ball that long.
Or maybe not. Nikki Diley, the runner on the baseline, not there. Bissell in a hurry. Too much. Borer got fouled coming down. That's going to get Schaup back out of the game. Madison Welch, the 5'11 junior, replaces her again. Free throw rattled out. 30 seconds left in the half, and Smith dribbled that off her own foot. It sure looked that way anyway. We'll stay with Notre Dame. Whitmer bench let out a collective oh when the call went against him.
I'll tell you who else, Mason. I forgot to talk about when you talked about girls teams, and they're D3 or D4, but Toledo Christian.
Absolutely. We'll see him against Anthony Wayne tomorrow night on BCSN. That'll be fun. Oh, Denny Lawrence!
What did I tell you, Mason? I told you I had the feeling at the end of the first quarter it was going to be one of them nights, baby. I'm telling you, Mason.
It's Friday all over again. Deja vu, the late bucket from Janiyah Anderson and Denny Lawrence. The answer on the run. The Whitmer Panthers take a 1-point lead into the break.
Appliance Center has the largest selection of in-stock furniture, mattresses, appliances, cabinetry, flooring, and more. Thank you for voting us Best Appliance Store and Best Furniture Store for the last 6 years. See over 9,000 items on display and over $7 million of inventory available for immediate pickup or delivery. Plus, get up to 48 months special financing on the top brands in the country. Stop in to our Maumee or Monroe Street locations today. 419-PAY-LESS or visit shopac.com.
Sean's Irish Taverns offer great food and fun in a family sports bar atmosphere. And if you're looking for great burgers, steaks, salads, soups, and pizza, we've got you covered. Watch the biggest games every day with awesome food and drink specials. Looking for a banquet room for special parties? Sean's can take care of you. We're locally owned and operated and are proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community. Stop into any of the Sean's Irish Taverns today. Just sit back and let us serve you.
The BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Marco's Pizza, continues into the winter sports season. High school, college hoops, and more. The hosts and guest analysts give you the inside info about your team. New episodes every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. Search BCSN Nation Podcast.
Hello, I'm Matt Janowicki, the owner of Ace Appliance, to tell you about the new Ace Appliance Protection Plan. One reason we can price the plan as low as $3.99 per month is because our family-owned business now services over 25,000 appliances per year. With such a high call volume, we receive the absolute lowest parts pricing along with free shipping from all of our manufacturers. We then pass those savings on to our Ace Appliance Protection Plan customers.
Hey, Ace, we need it fixed right away.
Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
High school sports on BCSN is presented by Appliance Center, family owned with over 200,000 satisfied customers since 1963. And Sean's Irish Tavern, locally owned and operated, proud to be active members of the Northwest Ohio community.
Halftime here at LaValle Gymnasium. Just another night in the track on BCSN, and another tight one. Whitmer up 23-22 on Notre Dame. This halftime update is brought to you by Appliance Center, Ohio's largest furniture, mattress, and appliance superstore. Welcome to the booth, everybody. Mason Lowry and John Hobbs. Great to have you with us. We feared early on this might be a race to 20 or 30 points after the first quarter. So intense, so difficult for both teams to score. But to their credit, John, both teams kind of found their rhythm in the second.
Well, defensively, you start out a game, you're really tight. You don't want the other team to score. But you have to, at some point, understand the game is not won in one quarter or the first quarter. And so as they began to loosen up and get their rhythm, the second quarter became much more exciting. And let me point out, Mason, we've had 2 quarters ended on a buzzer beater shot. Who knows?
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that, really. It was so important for Whitmer, I think, that Sydney Borer was able to open things up for herself a little bit in the second quarter. For a very long time, it was really tough for her to do anything. Notre Dame was defending her so darn well.
Yes, Sydney Borer opened up her scoring, and also did Dakota Smith on the other side. And neither one of them had really had an effect in the first quarter. But when you have players like Sydney or Dakota, at some point, they're going to start to score. And this is where that fourth quarter is going to be so important to see whose legs and lungs last the longest.
That was our Appliance Center halftime update from LaValle Gymnasium, a Monday night on BCSN. Where would you rather be? There was a one-possession basketball game at the break. Whitmer on that buzzer-beating 3 from Denny Lawrence, leading Notre Dame by a point.
Hello, I'm Matt Janowicki, the owner of Ace Appliance, to tell you about the new Ace Appliance Protection Plan. With the Ace Appliance Protection Plan, we guarantee you're locked in and grandfathered for life for as low as $3.99 per month, regardless of the appliance's age. With inflation skyrocketing at over 40% on parts, gas, and labor, your price will never go up as long as you're on the plan.
Hey, Ace, we need it fixed right away.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Ohio. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Marco's Pizza, continues into the winter sports season. High school, college hoops, and more. The hosts and guest analysts give you the inside info about your team. New episodes every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. Search BCSN Nation Podcast.
Get the #1 buy from the #1 guy, Dave White, Chevrolet.
The best deal you will ever see, and standard equipment includes integrity.
His reputation says it all. For the #1 buy from the #1 guy, the place to go is a Lexus and Monroe. Dave White, Chevrolet.
Find new roads. Visit DaveWhiteChevy.com.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Ohio. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the OHSAA and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Marco's Pizza, continues into the winter sports season. High school, college hoops, and more. The hosts and guest analysts give you the inside info about your team. New episodes every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, wherever you get your podcasts, and on YouTube. Search BCSN Nation Podcast.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's a place rooted in its strong focus on college prep curriculum and academics in the classroom that is central to success to so many. Come discover that special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life, central to academics.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
High school sports on BCSN is presented by Dave White Chevrolet. The place to go is Alexis and Monroe. DaveWhiteChevy.com. And Bowling Green State University, a public university for the public good. Visit bgsu.edu to learn more.
Just about ready for the second half here on BCSN. Whitmer up 23-22 on Notre Dame. Whitmer paced by Sidney Borer in the first half with 7 points. Notre Dame getting 8 from Dakota Smith and 7 from Janiah Anderson, who was being stretched out for a very long time at halftime right in front of our broadcast booth along the baseline. Something maybe to keep an eye on in the second half. Mason Lowry and John Hobbs, great to have you here. What do you want to see, John, in the second half?
The second half, number one, is that they're going to have to attack with Shoup having 2 fouls. Notre Dame is going to have to find a way to get in the paint. They're a slashing team, and Whitmer's done a very good job keeping them out of the paint and slashing to the basket. The other thing is on the other end, Notre Dame is going to have to find a way to stay in the face of Sidney Borer if they're going to win this game.
Borer did some damage as the first half chugged along. And we'll see if Shoup can be a difference maker again. She was kind of limited in her effectiveness, having to play with the 2 fouls. See how long it takes her to pick up a third. A quick third could be an issue for them. Here's Popoff from the corner, a little long. Shoup had it on her fingertips for a second. It's off of her last out of bounds. Whitmer at 9-9, Notre Dame 9-10. Both teams still to play Central Catholic again.
One of the things that Coach Travis will do is in this second half, if he can get a lead, he is very good at draining that clock. And if he can get a lead, 1 or 2 points, he will hold that ball and hold it and hold it and hold it.
Shoup. 3 defenders there. Picked up by Smith underneath and a foul called, and that is a quick third on Shoup. That's a problem.
And again, this is what I said they had to do. They had to find a way, Notre Dame, to get in there and draw that third foul on her.
Actually, they gave that to Popoff her first, not a third on Shoup. So it's maybe a little sigh of relief for Leon Kennard. So that to me is where Dakota Smith so often can be so dangerous when she gets the ball in that high post and can attack. Obviously didn't have the chance to there.
Dakota's got to take that shot. The shot is deep as she was in the paint there. She's got to take that shot and draw the foul. That's why she has to, even make it or miss it, she's got to draw the foul, and she can, because the defense knows that Dakota can score there. She's so strong and so quick.
Shoup, who we noted in the first half, can put the ball on the deck, twisting and turning, but didn't get the angle quite right. Run down by Kennard at the top of the key. Here comes Borer. That was swatted away by Braylon Dunn. And on the run, here comes Nina Sims. No. Grabbed by Lawrence.
A lot of layups left on the floor by both teams.
An awful lot of misses in close.
But that goes back to what you talked about, Mason, at the beginning of this half, about sometimes teams playing too fast and slowing down and letting the game come to them instead of forcing it.
Kennard's mid-ranger is way off. Then Dakota Smith got caught up on her hip. Kennard's foul. I'm watching Leon Kennard down in front of the Whitmer bench, and he is getting increasingly annoyed.
This is getting ready to be a problem because Notre Dame, if you get them on that free throw line in the bonus, they don't miss many free throws.
Double teamed in the corner was Dupree.
Great defense. Great defense by Whitmer right there. That's where you want to trap a team. In these corners, half court, because you've got a defender on both sides when you trap them in the corner, plus you got two defenders coming hands up. Great job by Whitmer defensively there.
Pop off, yeah, that's a travel. Wiped the basket away.
Both of these teams just defensively getting the turnovers, but they haven't been able to convert offensively.
Whitmer, I feel like sometimes they look like a veteran team defensively and less so perhaps on the other end of the floor. Good extra pass. This is Smith. Too long. Much too long, but run down by Anderson. Nothing there inside, and that is thrown away.
When you're that deep in the paint, stop worrying about your shot being blocked and just go up and try to draw the foul. That's what social media has changed, because nobody wants to be for the rest of their life looking at somebody blocking their shot. If you play this game, somebody's going to steal the ball from you. Somebody's going to block your shot. On the boys' side, you're going to get dunked on if you play this game. It's going to happen. Play the game.
Here's Popoff, who continues to shoot. You have to keep going. They haven't fallen for her yet, but that is something that she does quite well generally. And Whitmer throws that away. I have nothing to add. By the way, I just really, really strongly agree with everything he just said. You are 100% right. Arena Moorer, 24, is in. Back from a torn ACL, big brace on the right leg. Dupree has not scored in this game. Neither is Nina Sims, averages 9 a night. Dunn tried to pop that to Smith. It was punched away by Moorer for a moment. Denny Lawrence ends up picking up the foul.
I have seen a lot of Travis Galloway teams, a lot of teams, year after year. Coach Travis Galloway has beaten our teams that I've coached several times. I've never seen a Notre Dame team where nobody wanted to take the shot.
That is something that they just haven't done well this year. They are not a good shooting basketball team, and there's just no way around that. And it's a shame because they do so many other things really well. Right on cue. There's Nina Sims knocking down a shot.
Thank you, Nina Sims.
Those were our first points of this half, by the way.
I wonder if Nina's related to Olivia Sims.
Younger sister.
Okay, all right.
Madison Welch going to work at the other end. Low-scoring game involving Whitmer shouldn't be a surprise when they lost to Northview not that long ago. The final score was 27-25. Lawrence in a hurry. Smith defending, made it tough on her. Borer goes up. On a contact, no whistle. Follow won't go. Put back, yes, for Welch.
A second basket in a row. Right place, right time finish.
Couple of quick baskets for the 5'11 junior Madison Welch.
And they just, when you give a team the ball 3 times on a rebound, that's what's going to happen. Box out.
Sims turned the corner. Anderson launches. Schaub grabs the rebound.
Notre Dame has got to pick it up, rebounding the ball. They have to. Whitmer's doing such a great job, and it looks like a 2-3 zone, and then they trap. And then they fall back, and then they trap. They're doing such a great job right now against Notre Dame with that. And the reason why they can do that, because Notre Dame is not shooting the ball.
Yeah, Moore going to the mat with Smith.
When you have a slashing team, that's the best defense. Pack that paint and keep them from slashing to the basket.
Arrow gave it to the Notre Dame Eagles under 90 seconds left in the quarter. So my question is, are we going to see another buzzer beater at the end of this period? Golly, I hope so. You'd hate to buck a trend. Here comes Katie Bissell, walled off. Smith will go to work once again. Lawrence, off of her leg, will stay down here. Lawrence gets up with a wry smile on her face, wondering how all that contact wasn't a whistle. But really, given how physical this whole game has been, it's set the bar pretty high for what is a foul and what isn't.
And it has. And the referees have allowed these two teams to play.
Another turnover back to the Panthers.
They're back to shadowing Borer again.
Moorer, too long.
Again, not rebounding the ball. The refs have really allowed these two teams to play.
Borer, tough shot. Here's Bissell with Moorer back, got into the body, she'll shoot 2.
Bissell did a great job there recognizing, did not turn around and throw the ball back up. This is what I've been saying, Mason. When you're that close in the paint, you gotta go up and take the basket. The one thing that Notre Dame was doing very early, Mason, you remember first quarter and middle of the second quarter, we thought Shoot was going to pick up her 3rd foul because they were really doing a good job of getting Whitmer to foul. But you've got to attack the basket to make that happen.
That's Anderson who fought for it. Moore's glasses fell off. She's got them back on her face, and now we'll jog into your picture. Anderson's foul with Coach Galloway, hands on hips, looking on. Sending Denny Lawrence to the free throw line. Hits the pair. Final seconds We're going to have another make at the end of a period. Short. No chance for a follow. To the frustration of Janiah Anderson. 8 minutes left here at LaValle Gymnasium. Whitmer leading it by 3.
There's a special place on Cherry Street that's truly the best at being central to life. It's a place rooted in its strong focus on college prep curriculum and academics in the classroom that is central to success to so many. Come discover that special place, Central Catholic High School. Central to life, central to academics.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
This BCSN broadcast is brought to you by IBEW Local 8 and Ace Appliance.
Here we go. Fourth quarter. Whitmer up 29-26 on Notre Dame. A very low-scoring third quarter. We didn't have a single-made bastion until the midway point of the third. Iggy Diley back in there for Whitmer and turns it over right away. Here comes Amira Dupree, fouled by Borer, I think. Lawrence was there too. That is on Sydney Borer. And Dupree at the line, a 4.5 point per game scorer. One of the young ones, the players in the regular rotation, Dupree and Dunn and Sims, all sophomores. There's Bella Calcamugio, who comes in sometimes. Got the 2 free throws.
Yeah, both of these teams have a lot of young players that are very easy to develop. They put the work in.
Coach Kennard calls timeout. 30, just 23 seconds into the fourth.
Well, Janiah Anderson calls that. She was just putting so much pressure on the ball, and she's so quick. He didn't want her to get in trouble and have her get a steal and get an easy layup because she is lightning fast.
Get your basketball fix every Friday night on BCSN's Game Day Nation. Live look-ins from area games plus highlights and analysis. Joel Sebastianelli, Deion Thompson, and Rhett Boyd have it all covered every Friday night from 7 to 10:30 on BCSN and the BCSN Now app. Of course, you were at studio, John, last Friday to see all those buzzer beaters. That had to be a heck of a good time.
Oh, wow. Every time we just didn't think the night could get any better. Here it comes again. Oh, man, what a great night. And then just think Chris got to call 2 in the same night within hours of each other.
I think he had as many buzzer beaters in 2 hours as I have in 11 years.
Yeah, that Smith-Bauer is Mr. Excitement himself.
No kidding. Where are you this Friday, by the way? Do you have a game Friday night?
Friday, I will be Scott boys versus Bowser boys.
Okay.
At Scott.
The Ben Williams Fieldhouse, a marvelous place to call a game. That was Janiah Anderson's third foul. I'll have big one to the tack, Emmanuel Christian and Cardinal Stritch.
I mean, what a great floor to play on.
So much history in that building over at Scott. Too much on the drive from Madison Welch. And that's Diley impeding Dakota Smith. I'm so glad we do still have a couple of the really old historic venues in the city, Scott, and wait, I'm thinking of in particular that are still there?
Well, the best floor in Northwest Ohio was torn down. Mason, I would have given anything for you to have had a chance to get on that floor at Libby High School. Oh, my goodness. You're talking about an amazing place, Libby High School. That floor was the most amazing place to play on in Northwest Ohio.
It's a real shame because Libby closed before I started working here. It's a shame. I'm a sucker for Toledo history, my adopted hometown. I would have loved to have caught a game in there. I feel like I would have kind of sullied everything had I been, actually standing on the floor. I wouldn't really belong, but calling a game from the stands, you betcha. Well, they didn't really guard Nicole Kennard. Notre Dame content to let her take that shot. Kennard, somebody that does so much for this Whitmer team, not really a scorer just yet. Smith, no. Schaub with the rebound. Lawrence bumped on the drive. That's 4 now on Janiyah Anderson.
Yeah, there's no turning Janiyah Anderson off. She is the Energizer Bunny from the tip to the end. That's the way she plays. Coach Travis already knows that that's just something he's going to have to deal with when Janiyah's on the floor.
That's big for Jana Schaub, her first basket since the first quarter to extend Whitmer's lead to 3, 31-28. First 2 minutes gone in the fourth quarter. Bella Calcamugio is out there with Anderson. Now on the bench with 4. The soft touch, Nina Sims. Off the front of the rim from Nicole Kennard. I'm not sure that got 10 feet off the ground. Didn't have much of a chance. A real line drive. Coast to coast, Dakota Smith.
And this is the place now. Dakota Smith has to take this game over. This is where big-time basketball is played.
Poked out by Calcamugio. It's Welch back in, so 2 posts on the floor now for the Panthers with Welch and Schaub. And Lawrence, lost her shoe. Awfully nice of the official to allow her to slide it back on.
Yes, I don't want that young lady getting injured.
Borer shakes loose, long 2, doesn't get the bounce. Schaub disengaged from Smith before she could pick up another foul. Smith again driving. It's spun out. The bodies hit the floor, scooped up by Sims. Over Calcamugio, this is Borer. Has 2 for Notre Dame running with her, sending Borer to the line.
Great hustle by Sydney Borer. Great foul by, I think that was on Smith.
It was indeed her second.
Sydney's normally pretty good from the free throw line.
Right on cue. Boy, now with 9 points. Good passing beats the pressure. Sims in rhythm. Oh, banks it home. All of Nina Sims' points have come in the fourth quarter.
Nina Sims is only a sophomore. She's not done growing. She's got a lot more she's going to learn about this game. She's got a big sister who's playing played amazing basketball here. So it's just going to really be exciting to see the type of player she develops into being.
Shelp, double team, forced it. Got it back, will go back up. If you're trying to draw a foul in a game like this, chances are it's not going to be called. Calcamuccio sent to the line by Elena Mora.
Great hustle. I mean, the transition is what Notre Dame has got to get going to get up and down this floor to score at this point in the game against Whitmer. Because in the half court, Whitmer has done a very good job defensively against them. And Notre Dame is definitely the most athletic team of the two. So you got to use that athleticism right now in the transition.
Two-possession lead for the Notre Dame Eagles with 3:19 left. And a full timeout taken by Leon Kennard will step away his Panthers. Now down 4.
What is success? Opportunity. Building a better future. Belonging to a supportive community. Life experiences that propel you forward. At Owens Community College, we offer more than 70 programs in career-focused fields and deliver quality higher education that is accessible to all. Your success starts here. Owens Community College.
There's a 4-point Notre Dame lead. Trying to split the season series with the Whitmer Panthers. Beat them at their place back in December.
Whitmer's now going to try their best to get Shoup involved. But Notre Dame is doing a good job. Keep one person in front and one person behind it.
Borer step back three is short. Is that the shot they needed right there?
No, they did not. You don't need that shot. Just drive to the basket, draw the foul. You got plenty of time to hit 2 baskets. There's no need to panic. And now Travis is going to go to keep away basketball, which everybody that's played Travis Galloway knows this is what he does when he gets a couple of points lead. They're going to have to foul them now.
Or allow an easy bucket for Dakota Smith inside. Welch to the rack, crunched between Bissell and Smith. Fouls on Denny Lawrence.
If Whitmer's gonna win this game, they have got to drive to the basket and draw a foul, and then you've got to do something because Notre Dame is not going to rush a basket now. Coach Galloway is the master of running that clock out. And Coach Kennard is going to have to find a way to keep that from happening.
This free throw helped the cause, but that will not. Couldn't get a timeout call before Lawrence fell into the sideline.
And you can see the frustration on this Whitmer team. Frustration foul. And this is not the place right now. Coach Kennard is looking for an answer. He's trying to figure out how to get Sidney Bora open for a three. He's also trying to figure out right now, going down the stretch, how to get the ball out of Notre Dame's hand without fouling them, because they do very good from the free throw line. On the other, and I can promise you, Coach Kennard is going to bring some type of pressure. If he can get a made basket, he's going to go to running some type of 2-2-1, 1-2-2. He's going to go full court pressure against Notre Dame.
That's huge. Nikki Diley off the bench, the freshman, her second three. So back to a three-point game and a 30-second timeout. You talk about the pressure. Notre Dame may be feeling the pressure a little bit at the free throw line. That's back-to-back front ends that they've missed.
Yes, and now what's getting ready to happen is Coach Kennard is getting ready to go 1-2-2, 2-2-1, 1-2-1-1. He's going to bring some type of pressure. The key is Whitmer cannot foul right now and put Notre Dame on the free throw line. They aren't going to keep missing the front ends. And one more foul, they're in the double bonus anyway. If you have to foul, the other question you have to ask Mason is if you have to foul, your assistant coach right now for Whitmer has to be telling you who you can foul on this Notre Dame team. That's what a good assistant is doing right now. Coach, if we have to foul this person. Here comes the pressure.
Well, they beat the pressure with ease. Amira Dupree with a bucket off the feed for Bella Calcamuccio.
Somebody completely missed their assignment.
Something you can't afford at crunch time. They don't have Diley, who made their last three, on the floor.
There's somebody from Whitmer wide open under the basket. They just don't see him.
Bora's jumper is off the mark.
Mora
kicked it.
One thing I want to see Notre Dame do the rest of the season, they got to do a better job rebounding the ball. You can't give teams 2 and 3. And I can see if Whitmer was like a lot taller than them, they're not. This is Coach Travis Galloway ball here. We're not shooting.
Spread you out, make you foul us, or maybe leave an easy layup on a cut. Double bonus time with 1:01 left. Tournament draw, by the way, was this past weekend. Whitmer's got an intriguing opening game in their sectional final against a Northview team that beat them 27-25. We mentioned that earlier. Winner of that game will get in all likelihood Fremont Ross, whom Whitmer beat not too long ago. In fact, 2 weeks back, beat them 49-46. Notre Dame will get either Perrysburg or Ashland in what will probably be the marquee game of that sectional final night.
2 missed free throws by Notre Dame.
Whitmer still with a chance. Diley almost wedged that one. And Dupree fouled by Kennard.
Come on, Amira, you can do it. Go, Amira.
Notre Dame is just missing free throws down the stretch. Finally.
Collective sigh of relief.
When you have to play a team 2 times in the same season, it makes it so difficult to get a second win.
Calcamuccio. She has done a marvelous job. Did not play in this game until the fourth quarter. We have noticed her for sure.
Oh, for sure. She has really stepped. She hit it. She hit a 3, and she's playing great defense. Wait for Dakota Smith not to get caught up in it. Just walk away from it. Make the free throw.
Let's settle down, everybody. Dakota has dealt with this about as well as one could.
Adults have to learn to just let kids play basketball. Like these young ladies, you are ruining a perfectly good night tonight with this adult nonsense. Let these young athletes compete against each other. The game has been physical all night. Why are adults getting involved now? And this is where I hope the refs stop the game, and anybody that's even acting like they're going to come off the bench on the floor, kick them out of the game right now.
Whitmer down 7. Diley has it blocked. And Smith fouled again. That should be that.
Allow these young athletes to enjoy, especially if there's any seniors out here tonight. This is their last time playing each other. Such a great effort from both teams tonight.
The only seniors on the Notre Dame side, Smith and Bissell and Janiyah Anderson. Gets the free throw, 13 for Dakota. Schaub will go back up, clangs it, flicked out of bounds to Notre Dame with less than a second to play. They have earned this one, very much so.
Yes, both these teams play very hard.
See what it means to a Notre Dame team that has had, in some respects, a really trying season. They win it 44-36. You know, this is kind of a tough one for me. Tonight's electrifying player of the game presented by IBEW Local 8. I don't know what to do here. It's a very good all-around team effort. And Whitmer chirping at Notre Dame in the handshake line. I don't like that even a little bit. Frustrating night for them, frustrating season for Notre Dame. Who should we go with for player of the game? I really can think of two that genuinely could get player of the game. Dakota Smith being one. Nina Sims, 8 points in the fourth quarter, all 8 of her points in the fourth quarter. That was huge.
Yeah, I think I would just give the nod to, you know, Dakota Smith, who has 4 years and worked so hard. This is her last time against Whitmer tonight. And I would definitely give the, not that Sims didn't do an amazing job, please don't get me wrong, but I would definitely give the edge to Dakota Smith tonight.
There you have it, Dakota Smith, our electrifying player of the game, brought to you by IBEW Local 8, rewarding careers with the best training. More info at IBEW8.org. For John Hobbs and all of our crew, this is Mason Lowry saying so long. This has been a presentation of BCSN, seen only on Buckeye.